Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Turnbuckle Studios and the Boar's Nest bring to you its Raw Preview Review Show with your hosts and tag team partners. He's Bubba Duke, I'm OMD, and welcome to the Boar's Nest.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, chicklets of all ages. My name is Bubba Duke. Once again, here for another Raw Review Preview Show with OMD. And as you see down here, we do not have the Bulkster tonight because he is previously obligated to go somewhere else doing an interview for us. So we will get that when he comes back.
That we will.
Apparently, it's a good thing he's doing right now. Plus, he did a movie review that's going to be coming up on Thursday. So you guys pay attention to that on Thursday night at 8 o'clock. We're going to start. Yes, back to our regular scheduled programming. We had. It's not that we had more. It was just been a busy week. I started a new shoot job. Yeah,
family obligations.
Yeah, you were busy with the young man, and I was working 7 at night till 7 in the morning doing the shoot job. Which I could tell you guys, I'm literally working in the steel plant here, unloading the boat that comes in with all the round stock, which is basically pre-tube tubes.
Right.
For the tube mill up here. I literally haul from the dock to their holding yard, which is over by, well, it's actually past Transwest, they call it.
Okay.
And then that night I got called off of doing that to haul because they were pumping pipe out so fast that I literally had to jump from doing that job to now I'm changing from hauling from that yard to the tube mill to load their holding bay they have in the tube mill because their stock was getting way down too fast. And that night we had 3 trucks loading the mill and 7 trucks unloading the boat because they literally could not keep up. It was crazy, dude. But it's a fun job. I'm back into a transport, which is my heart. It's my passion.
Hey, that's
driving
awesome.
rig. So I'm happy. So let's get into. You wanted to cover the Gunther Kofi Kingston match that was last week for the King of the Ring. Let's cover that first.
I did, and to be honest, I don't remember much of this match, probably because it was Kofi Kingston.
Yes.
And I'm just not a Kofi fan.
We're done with Kofi as far. Not that we're done with him, he's overutilized for stupid shit.
I've never been big on Kofi, even going back to his Jamaican accent days.
Oh, Jesus, yes, I remember that.
Never been big.
Okay, well, again, you're allowed to like who you like, and I liked him for a little bit.
But, I mean, there's no denying what the guy has done in his career, and I mean, I'll even give him the credit for doing things the right way and now putting the younger talent over, although Gunther really didn't need him to put him over.
Gunther really didn't. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, I mean, we all fully expected Gunther going to the finals of King of the Ring and winning it.
Yes.
The King General Gunther.
I will salute that one. I agree.
So, again, a good, hard-hitting match, so I will not take away from Kofi in this match. But, again, it didn't do a whole lot for me. It was an unnecessary booking in this tournament.
Yes, very much so. Very unnecessary. Kofi didn't need the win, nor did he need the loss. But at the same time, I kind of understand what Trips was doing here. He doesn't want to make it look super obvious that Gunther is going to win.
Right.
So he's got to put him in there with some kind of decently caliber of a talent.
Right.
And who's really not doing shit right now? Kofi Kingston.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than putting him in there again. I wish Xavier would have been in this and not Kofi. But given the situation.
With Woods injured, again, though, like Woods now, like the whole concept of the New Day really hasn't done anything for me in a long time.
It's
And
been
don't get me wrong, like I wasn't a big fan of them at first, but the whole group did grow on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that again they're in and around the title picture, but they're not directly involved.
Yeah, they're not pushing hard for that. They're just kind of trying to, like, I guess the way to put it is they're trying to elevate the other talent into that. Like they're trying to push them there.
Absolutely.
Not going, hey, no, you know what? Too bad for you. We want to be 20-time tag team champions. Like,
Yeah.
no, they don't care.
No.
They're there to make these guys look way better sometimes than what they really are. And I will admit they've done it. But it's good to see that they're helping. That's not just
Absolutely.
faded
They're-
off into the.
They're doing business the right way. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kofi Kingston has had an individual Hall of Fame career.
Oh,
The
hell
New
yeah.
Day as a group, not just as a tag team, but as a group, have a Hall of Fame resume, and
All
they've
three
earned
of them
it.
do. All three
They've
of them
earned
do.
it.
Separately, all three of them have had their own success individually.
Yes.
To a degree. I'm not saying that they're all, superstars, but they're
out of
together they
that,
are.
I'm going to have to say that out of them individually, Kofi is the only one to truly have the Hall of Fame career as an individual.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. But again, Xavier has sort of this gets up, gets pushed, starts reaching for that brass ring.
Yes.
And then gets hurt.
Right, he gets this close and then something happens.
Very much reminds me of a Wade Barrett. We have a Bulkster joining us.
Yes, we do. I was just going to let you finish. So, Bulkster, we're just talking Kofi Kingston and Gunther. That first match
match. Okay.
Yes. We knew Gunther was going to win it. We knew that. We all kind of went, yeah, Gunther's kind of go to the end, possibly win the entire thing. What's your thought on that match of the night?
That match was okay. Kofi was doing Kofi things. And I mean, he did get tapped out. Like I said, he got tapped out again. Gunther is really pushing this submission machine in this tournament like crazy. I mean, it's remarkable what he's doing. So yeah, I thought Gunther. I mean, I had Gunther as like he's going to win this. Initially, I thought maybe, yeah. But things can change. I mean, I don't know if I now have him winning everything now at this point.
Right.
Beginning tournament, I did, but I think things might change to.
Yes. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
We'll discuss that when we discuss.
Yes,
your
we'll
match.
get to that in a minute, my friend. So, anybody want to say anything else about the Gunther Kofi Kingston match other than it was mediocre?
I love New Day.
All hail the King General Gunther.
That dude wins. I will stand here and salute that dude 10 times over if he wins the entire thing. So the next match that we want to discuss is Terry's match of Jey Uso and the Mad Dragon, Dragunov. I'll let you take it away, Terry.
Yes, we had the Mad Dragon, Dragunov, and Jey Uso for the first time in the ring together, and they had quite the match. A lot of people, there was a lot of talk on the interwebs about this match after it took place. A lot of people were hoping for Dragunov to just put basically a jetpack on his back and just skyrocket through this tournament. And unfortunately, Creation has a whole other idea and put Jey Uso over, which I'm not terribly mad about. Jey Uso, some people don't think Jey Uso needs it. Well, I think he's still building his character, building his thing, and Iliad's new to the roster. And possibly they didn't want to do Dragunov versus Gunther right this instant, which I understand. That's a big match to have just on a Raw.
Yes.
And there's so many other outcomes now after seeing what happened on SmackDown that we can see happen, at the finals for or for King of the Ring. And
Yes.
it now makes you wonder, can Jay beat Gunther somehow? Is there gonna, I mean, so it gives you more of the unknown instead of us going, oh, Gunther's just going to breeze through this. Now you're like, wow, this is going to probably be a back and forth match. There's going to be a lot of close calls, and it's gotten Raw basically going to be more exciting for this Raw.
Yes. This Monday Night Raw is going to be epic.
Oh.
So, OMD, what is your thoughts on that match, Jay and Dragunov?
As much as Jay didn't need the win,
Yes.
and again, we go back to the Kofi situation, we didn't need it. Had we seen it, we could have had that New Day versus Usos rivalry rekindled tonight had Kofi beat Gunther.
Yep.
Again, a big surprise. I was probably the only one saying I don't want Gunther Dragunov right away.
I was there.
I like the fact that Jay won.
Yeah.
And it, as Bulkster mentioned, it opened up a lot more. There's more questions than answers.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that. And I mean, now we have to wait and see, okay, who comes out of Jey Uso versus Gunther tonight? And I'm going to go bold. I'm going to say they are going with Jey Uso.
Ooh.
Bulkster agrees.
Oh, okay.
I'm going with Jey Uso tonight.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, Gunther doesn't need it. Gunther's already going to be probably in line for a title shot come Bash in Berlin.
That's kind of the theory at this point. Yeah.
Depending on where they go on the SmackDown side. And I think that on the SmackDown side, we're building to Bloodline versus Bloodline at the King of the Ring finals.
Yes, that's yeah.
I'm seeing Jey Uso versus Tama Tonga in the King of the Ring finals.
Yeah.
So that's what you're calling? Okay, so quickly, because you've already jumped way the fuck ahead of me. I don't think it hurt Dragunov to lose this match at all. Because he is new to the roster. He's new to being on the big show, so to speak. So Jay, but it wasn't like Jey Uso manhandled Dragunov.
No.
It was very, very even, and I honestly thought Dragunov was going to win. To be honest,
it was a fantastic, hard-hitting match. And I'm okay with Dragunov not winning because, again, we didn't need the rocket ship strapped to Dragunov and push him direct into the title picture.
No, let him build his character.
I'm okay with the build and the slow burn.
Yeah. He seems like, again, I went back and watched Dragunov and Gunther in the UK NXT thing where they had their huge rivalry. I want that, but I don't want it right this minute. Like, let that build up and let it mean something more than just, hey, it's a rivalry we're going to revisit.
Yeah.
No, I want it to be like either for a title or a number one contendership or, something very important.
Yeah.
Not just, because we can.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So tonight we have Gunther versus Jey Uso on the Raw side. Can't wait to see that match. So let's do something that we're going to start doing regularly on this show. We're going over to the SmackDown brand now. And I wish I had the thing to put in the background for you people. But we have Randy Orton versus, how do you say his name?
Tama Tonga.
I see Ton, and I'm like, Ton Ga. Because
Close.
wow. And I will be
He
honest,
also goes by.
right. I went back and watched some of his pre WWE matches.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Orton is in for a battle on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I don't see Orton winning it, but I see Orton pushing this young man to his absolute limits.
100%.
Yeah.
Again, I've watched a little bit of Gorillas of Destiny, as he and
That was-
Tongaloa were called,
Yes, that was the group I was watching.
in New Japan as part of the Bullet Club.
Yes.
Epic. Again, Orton's another guy that doesn't need the crown.
No,
He's never had it. It's one of the few accolades he's never had.
I don't think he cares, to be honest.
No.
Right now, I don't think he cares.
What I like, though, in this is that it is the long-term storytelling. When he returned at Survivor Series and tamed with Jey Uso and then told Jey, you know what, you're out of the bloodline now, we're good.
Yeah.
He was targeting the bloodline, but now Roman's out. The only one he's had issue with since is Solo, because Jimmy's off injured.
Yeah.
So now you're going to get that Orton versus the bloodline feud, and now Orton is going to need partners.
Yep.
And I am, again, okay with it. I do think that we are building to Tama Tonga versus Jey Uso next Saturday at King and Queen of the Ring in Saudi Arabia. And I'm going to put Tama Tonga, who is the son of King Haku.
Yeah. That's kind of where I was going with it too. I was just seeing if you were gonna get there. Yeah, dude. My mind went boof when I uncovered that bit of information.
Yep.
I agree with you. Jay and Tama Tonga are definitely going for that crown head to head, and I don't see Jay winning it unless they start that whole, like you said, that's how they're gonna start that feud with the bloodline versus bloodline deal.
And a good evening to our friend Mr. Best.
Hey, Best.
Thanks for jumping in.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, so we all agree Orton really isn't going to win that one, but it's going to be a close fight.
Yeah.
There'll be some shenanigans.
Okay.
With RKO's out of nowhere.
Yes.
Yeah, and the what was it?
I don't think it's going to be a clean. I don't think it's going to be a clean win.
No.
You wouldn't expect that with the bloodline, though. The way they're being run right now, you don't expect it to be. They got to, insert their dominance, so to speak.
I don't know if they'll physically get involved, but they'll be mentally involved by either showing up, playing their music, and Orton will be looking around, which he's usually smart to that, but it'll be interesting.
Again, being the veteran Orton is, he could just ignore it and continue doing what he has been programmed to do, which is wrestle like the god he is, or he could have a moment and be distracted and lose the match that way. Staying on track with SmackDown, I want to switch gears here, gentlemen, and I want to talk Nia Jax and Jade Cargill.
Okay.
I did catch this match on SmackDown. How do you feel about what happened during this match, OMD?
Honestly, I completely missed the match.
It wasn't much to miss, to be honest. It really wasn't. I'll be honest. No. It was total shenanigans from the start, which was Nia's goal when she went in.
I know a lot of it took place on the outside, and I heard the bell ring each time I tried to watch it. I have not yet seen this match.
It literally was shenanigans, and Jade got disqualified because Nia went to hit her with a chair, and she tried to grab both sides, but missed one and caught it in the head, but grabbed it again, ripped it out of her hand, and then hit her with it, which got her
Right.
disqualified, which I think was Nia Jax's intentions for the whole match,
Right.
was just get the girl disqualified so she didn't have to actually fight her, because
Right.
then that would be two giant forces hitting each other. which
Again,
they're not ready
Jade
for.
is not one that needs the Queen of the Ring title. Again, it adds to that layer and that build of her character. I'm even
Exactly.
going to say I think they did the right thing in doing the tag team with Bianca Belair, but again, I think they rushed putting the tag belts on them.
Just a
I
little
think
bit.
that needed a little bit more of a build, but again, I am glad we're not getting Bianca
Jade
versus Jade in the
yeah.
Queen of the Ring finals on SmackDown.
You don't
Yeah,
need that.
that's great.
Don't need that. What is Terry the Bulkster? What's your opinion on that match, or if you want to call it a match?
Like I said, I didn't fully see it. I seen the highlights, but I did
That was the
like
match.
Nia. Like I said, I like Nia. I like Nia, how she got involved with Jade's daughter and
Yeah, you
yelled
seen
at
that,
her
eh?
about
Your mom
your mom
sucks.
sucks, and getting her and they focused on her daughter's reaction and emotion, and that
100%.
triggered Jade to lose her cool.
Yep.
And so I loved how they played this off. Jade didn't look weak. She didn't look like, she lost control.
Yes. Which
And that
rookies do.
irrationally because of her daughter being involved.
Yeah. Which rookies do, right? Like they make mistakes. You're a rookie. You're making a
Yep.
mistake. Learn from it.
And
Don't have your damn kid at ringside.
and Nia is
yeah.
growing on me. Nia is doing tons better on this run than ever before. I am all for her taking out.
Okay. I'm gonna break the news here. Nia Jax. Not only is she impressive as far as the skills she has picked up from whoever is teaching her, like she's listening. Keep it up. Number two, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but that girl has lost some weight.
She has.
I don't know how to put this nicely, but damn. Yeah, she's beautiful.
So this coming Friday, we get Nia Jax versus Bianca Belair.
I changed the subject. That was smooth, bro.
And so now you're getting Nia Jax focusing on the tag team champions.
Yes. Like that's smooth, man. Like
it is.
Like
great build to show that Nia can do it. And I'm gonna say it here. I've got Nia getting crowned.
I kind of do too. Because again, Bianca has so many accolades to her name already. And who has put in more work over the last a year and a half that Nia's been back?
Yeah.
Give or take. I mean, I'm not 100%, but she's put in more work to better herself than any wrestler I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Like literally she was written off by WWE. Like, go back to Samoa and do whatever you want there because we don't care right now.
Yeah.
And then to make her come back and be like, listen, I'm ready. I understand what I did wrong and blah, 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 whatever.
Yep.
Now she has changed leaps and bounds. She's actually saved a couple of women from seriously hurting themselves instead of hurting them.
Yes.
Which is huge in my book.
Yes.
Huge.
And again, I'm drawing Nia to get crowned and Nia win Queen of the Ring.
100%.
To tie into the Bloodline story.
Yeah, buddy. I can't wait till she becomes a part of that. Like, yeah. Anyway, so that being said, let's jump back over to Raw. Okay. And let's go with Io Sky and her previous match with Baszler. Sorry, I couldn't even say her name for a minute. Personally, I thought Baszler was going to win this one, to be honest. Because Io Sky literally just lost her title. just came back from that loss
Yeah.
and really doesn't need this accolade of Queen of the Ring. She really doesn't need it.
She
now.
doesn't need it, but it's, again, you can build her back up, give her that push. Because she's had it. She was down on her luck.
It is true.
Yeah, it was.
Whoa,
Chris saying, I thought we were getting Stark versus Baszler, which, no, we got Io Sky one last week.
Yes. Which we'll cover in a second. So yeah, Io Sky wins this match. And again, it wasn't like we know who's going to win match. It was very close, very tight match. These women put on a hell of a match. Like, I literally thought at one point Baszler was going to be hands down the winner at one point. And then it was like, oh crap, no, Io's going to win it. And then they went back to Baszler, and I'm like, holy crap, who's going to win this match? And it ended up being Io Sky, which honestly, not too upset about.
Tonight, we get Lyra Valkyria versus Io Sky.
Yes, that's what I was just getting to.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just Lyra bought Star.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yes, that's the match we were going to cover next, which was Stark and the new lady. I cannot pronounce her name yet because
Lyra.
It's not going to help, dude. I'm going to forget.
Lie.
Okay, so let's get your opinion on that match there, Bulkster.
So Lyra's new. She has a lot of talent.
Yes.
She is really getting the rub from Becky Lynch.
Really, like big time.
And like I said, I don't know how I feel about this finals, because if I'm, and like I said, if we're going back to I think Nia will win the finals for SmackDown.
Okay.
And I'm like, who do I want to fight? Out of these two, which one would be benefit to me for Saturday? And neither of them do anything for me. I don't.
No.
I feel it'll just be a squash match because of the size difference.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Do you put the former champion in there against Nia, or do you put this new girl in there for Nia just basically to smack around and become Queen of the Ring? Like, what's Parrish think about that kind of thing?
Welcome to the show, Parrish. We're getting the early run-in tonight.
What's the foregone conclusion that Nia is actually winning on the SmackDown side?
Well, we're just saying at this point that Nia is going to win. We're just kind of going with that.
That's our speculation, our thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying this on Sunday. I think what you very well could have is with Bianca and Jade with the tag titles, you could see maybe Damage Control getting involved with their business, just like you can see Damage Control getting involved in the Lyra business. So if it's a Lyra and Bianca finish, you can still see Damage Control get involved in this. And I think with those women's titles, it's surrounding, especially knowing you have Io right there. It allows Lyra kind of be that third wheel if it wanted to, because Jade and Bianca are allowed to cross over to Raw as the women's tag champions. So you have that loophole. I think you need to have Lyra win. And I say this exactly like what you were saying. Yes, she's getting that massive rev on Becky, but what does this do for Io if she wins? I don't know. She just had a long championship reign that, let's be honest, kind of fell a little flat towards the end. And if it wasn't for Bayley's storyline going in, would you have cared about it? I think this is a great opportunity to make somebody new, a new face, in case somebody gets hurt. Because let's face it, have you seen the list of people injured in WWE right now, especially on the women's side?
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are hurt.
Yeah.
This is a great opportunity to help develop your depth on your women's roster on the Raw side, and I think Lyra is the right person to go. And even if she was to go against Nia Jax, what a better way to have somebody with the underdog story of fighting from underneath than a Lyra Valkyria beating the Nia Jax, especially if there is a Jade or Bianca involvement, which I hope not, because you don't want that to taint the finals of this tournament.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, you don't want that interference to, mess up and taint that win. But, I don't see Nia losing, to be honest. But that's just me, my personal opinion. I think she's on a roll right now, and I think she's going to win this tournament. Whether it's she absolutely annihilates that poor young lady, which I don't think is going to happen.
No.
But it's going to be a hell of a match between these two women.
Yes.
Do you really believe that they're going to have this big few-week-long tournament all the way going to Saudi Arabia for the final, only to have squash match on the Queen of the Ring, the first ever Queen of the Ring final, nonetheless? Because last time it was a Queen's Crown.
Yes.
Right. Yes. It wasn't tournament style at all. So I agree. No, it's not going to be a squash match. No, but Nia is definitely going to dominate most of the match.
I just want to see.
Normal.
I want to see Lyra get Nia in her finisher. That's it.
I can't disagree with you.
If you pull that off, you won me over. You won me over. That's
Right.
great. I like her finish, and I'm like, man. And it's a miracle. It's like, so you see some finishes, and you're like, there's no way they can do it. Like, I mean, but they pull off these feats of strength that are unmatched, and you're like, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean,
that's how it's pretty wild.
That's how Chad Gable is so like a.
So, speaking of Chad Gable, let's go to the non-title match that's happening tonight with him and Sami Zayn. How do we think that's going to go down tonight?
Shenanigans, and I think this story is now getting overplayed. It's long-term storytelling in a short-term situation, so they've tried to really rush and overdo everything, especially with the triple threat this Saturday for the Intercontinental title in Saudi Arabia.
I think it's a smokescreen. They're advertising it, but I don't even know if we'll actually get to the match. I think they might have more. I think it might just be like, hey, we're advertising this. We're going to attempt to have it. And then I think Bronson Reed's going to interject himself where it's just going to be a cluster mess and they have to cancel the match anyway. Or it will turn into some kind of, I can't see it turn into a tag team because I don't see anybody helping anybody. But I just think the match is going to get thrown out.
Why could we not have a tag match of Chad Gable and his old buddy
Otis?
What's his name? The big Otis, yeah. And put Bronson Reed and Sami Zayn together, make them work together. Why couldn't you see that?
I like the concept. But I think again that's just going to.
I think it's just going to melt down into a big cluster.
It is,
you know what? And yeah,
especially with the way
good old fashioned brouhaha.
With the way Chad was going at Otis and everybody else in Alpha Academy last week.
That's what I'm saying.
Bronson, it's going to, of course, wanting the title. So again, I don't think you're going to see a tag match that's going to work because it's just going to become then become essence of Fatal 4-Way and everybody just beating the snot out of everybody.
That was the point. That was kind of where I was getting at. Because Otis will be like, yeah, I'll help you, no problem. And then gets him in the ring and just absolutely annihilates him for the BS that happened last week.
Because it's going to become, I think that would be a waste of a 5 or 10 minute segment. It would just become a throwaway and
pretty much
adding more confusion to an already
confusing thing,
rushed and played out storyline.
Or Chad Gable. It's advertised for Chad Gable versus Sammy, but Chad Gable encourages Otis to go out there and fight in his stead. He'll be out there to train him. He wants to you need to loosen up Sammy and do what he did last week, kind of like, and Otis will, to build that story too. That story is kind of fresh and build on the whole mistreating of Otis.
Yes. I just want to see Otis lose his ever-loving mind and just beat the snot out of Gable. And then
I think we'll see it eventually.
True. Anybody else want to add their 2 cents on that?
Yeah, I think probably the best way, especially because this is the go home for the Saudi show or the King and Queen of the Ring. I'm still going to call all Saudi shows the Saudi show, by the way.
Yeah, it is what it is.
I don't think you need to add more layers tonight. You can through a backstage segment, but I don't think you have to do it within the match. I think in the confines of the match, I think it's honestly, it just needs to be as simple as this. They have the match that we expect them to have. And then as soon as maybe Sami Zayn gets to a point where he's going to go for the haluva kick or something, Bronson Reed comes in, gets that disqualification, puts down both guys. And if you ask me, the story was always about Sami and Gable. What happens if the closing segment of that scene is Bronson Reed holding up the Intercontinental title just to give you a potential foreshadow of what things may be? That way, now you could actually believe that, hey, even though there was a story with Sami and Chad, they've overlooked somebody like Bronson Reed because they're so locked into what they're thinking about trying to do to one another. That Bronson Reed just says, how can you forget about me? You should never have forgotten about me. In fact, I'm actually a little bit pissed off that you guys even had a feud to begin with over that title and didn't think about me. Therefore, I can squash you guys. And you guys have just made it easier for me to take advantage of this.
Right, because they're so focused on just annihilating each other. Bronson comes in and just says, nope, boonk, boonk, mine. Done.
Yeah.
What about the match they just announced, guys? What about the Finn Balor and JD versus the Miz and R-Truth for the titles tonight? What do we think?
I like it. As big a fan as I am of Awesome Truth, and I want to see them keep the belts and have a significant run, I think this is playing right into where I want them to go with the Judgment Day and get the belts on the team from Ireland. And then when Dom is ready to come back from injury, Dom can challenge Sami, Gable, Bronson for the Intercontinental title and have the Judgment Day get all the gold.
Ooh.
And potentially, if his storyline with Liv plays out, Liv comes in and takes
with the female title,
takes Mommy's place in the Judgment Day.
Oh, she would be pissed. Oh, she would be mad. Oh, I could just see that shit happening right now.
I like that.
She would lose her mind, bro.
Yep.
Forget about Forest Fires taking down Australia. It'd be Mommy taking down Australia.
Yep.
Oh, she would be mad. I like it though. Not gonna lie, that'd be pretty cool.
Yep.
Is there any other matches we want to discuss that are going on tonight or that have happened in the last week on SmackDown or Raw?
I want to go back to last week and the Zoe Stark versus Lyra Valkyria match. This was the match that I had pegged as the match of the night last week, and holy shit, did it deliver.
Yeah, dude, you called it. So pick a match this week.
Pick a match this week. Jay and Gunther.
Yeah.
There's your match tonight.
And I really thought Jay and Ilya Dragunov also had a really great performance too last week.
It was brilliant.
And I thought they gave their money's worth in terms of competition. But I don't think anybody expected the match. Like, even though we wanted to and we saw that, I honestly don't think a lot of people expected the time to be given to Zoe and Lyra last week. And because it did, you got a great result out of that. We expect that banger out of Gunther and Jay. We just do. they set that standard on themselves, and we just haven't seen necessarily the standard say as Zoe Stark on the main roster so far, and we're still not sure what to think about Lyra on the main roster, even though we like what we've seen thus far.
Right.
So to kind of have something like that, now you can build off that. Now you're interested in what Zoe's does next because she had that great match. But now you also now have a more of a believable thought that Lyra will and could defeat an Io Shirai for that Raw final for the Queen of the Ring.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. And I mean, for those of us who watched Lyra in NXT, I know Bubba didn't, we have a little bit more of an idea of what to expect. But again, there's a big difference from NXT to the main roster.
Huge.
In terms of the grind, where NXT, yes, you're at the Performance Center every day. You do a little bit of touring in and around the Florida area, and you're away for your NXT PLEs, but you have a home base. You're not used to the grind of being on the road for 200 days a year.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing, right? You don't have that grind, so to speak, which makes way big a difference as far as your performance is concerned. The other thing too is you're not really away from home, so to speak. So you don't have that issue. You're home every night pretty well and all that fun stuff, right? So what do you think? Whoa, someone's breathing really heavy. Holy.
Nope, nobody do it. It'll be funnier if nobody does it. I don't know, like anybody. So I kind of like to piggyback off what somebody says.
Go ahead.
I've expressed my thoughts, so I was waiting for Bulkster or Parrish.
That's kind of where I was at too. I was waiting for you guys to give your
Bulkster.
Thoughts on what?
Yeah, Bulkster, what do you think?
Thoughts on what? Apparently, I misplaced on what Bubba was talking about. He started talking about home. I'm like, I was getting lost in what you were talking about.
Bubba,
you're just lost because I had the chicken parmesan pizza today and you didn't.
I know.
I took the chicken parm title from you today.
He talked about the tag matches and then Bubba was talking about something else, and I'm like, I'm still on the tag match.
Okay, well, go back
to the tag match.
Your thoughts on the tag match?
So, in this tag match that's coming up, I honestly think I want to see Judgment Day win. I think JD needs a championship headband. It would be great to put that big championship around his big head.
Oh, dear God. Why? The poor guy gets picked on enough.
But no, honestly, I think it'd be good for JD. I mean, he's been kind of like the blunt of the joke, but I think he has a lot of potential. So even though I do like Awesome Truth, I don't think their championship runs them like more of a comedy show than anything. I don't care about comedy show. It's just, I don't know where they would go with it. With Judgment Day, you never know who they get a feud with to challenge for those belts. And I think they might have a better showing athletically, against other teams that are on the roster.
I think an easy match to add to Saturday, if you really want to go this route, is have the Judgment Day pick up that I didn't see it coming win those titles, and then do that immediate rematch on Saturday. It's a little small feud that you've made within a week, but it also gives a little bit more emphasis on those Raw tag titles. And then now there's something that many more people can watch. But I do like the idea of the Judgment Day winning these titles, because I do think JD McDonough needs to solidify his place in that Judgment Day with a strong win. Also, that Carlito factor where he's still trying to help people. And I think this is a great opportunity for the LWO to then now get involved and maybe prevent the Judgment Day from winning, because they've aligned with Carlito. And now Damian Priest can get a little bit more on the, I have more. I now don't trust Carlito because he's bringing in all this unneeded heat towards the Judgment Day, and now all of a sudden, this Carlito addition has brought in more enemies for the Judgment Day that we didn't have 2 weeks ago.
Wow. That
Are
got
the-
deep really quick.
Is the
Amen.
LWO on the Raw roster?
Yes.
Oh,
They had
that
to
also
split them
brings. But you could also have LWO versus Judgment Day now for the titles. You have that'd be a good match.
Yeah. We
That'd
also
be a
have
good
Cruz
choice.
del Toro still out with an injury right now, so it could
Yeah.
be Joaquin Wild and Rey Mysterio doing something. But that could be, like you said, that could be the tag match that we see. And how apropos would it be if, say, Dominic Mysterio is the one that cost Dad a chance to be
Another
team
tag
champions?
title.
Yeah. So I mean,
Wow.
right then you already have these going in, but we know eventually Damian Priest wants Carlito to handle his business. So this could be the reason why you have LWO versus, and we even could see LWO and Awesome Truth take on Judgment Day as they're moving
Right.
forward to a side, right?
War
Right.
games?
Maybe not
War-
war games, but it could very well shape up to be maybe a fatal 4-way or something, or a triple threat tag, something along those lines where
Right.
we're seeing everybody kind of there. I don't know.
Interesting.
I think we're going to see a little bit of continuity within these three teams, and I think it's very simple with one guy, and the key piece is actually Carlito.
Right.
Tying it all
Yeah, he
together.
kind of ties it all together.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's deep, dude. Like, you stop and think about that for a minute. That's a good storyline. Any way you put that, you're looking. That's a good feud, number one, for the three of them, and a good storyline because if, let's say, they do win the titles tonight, going to the pay-per-view, yeah, your instant rematch, and somehow, some way, somebody does something that they don't win it. It's like, holy cow, that's crazy. Yeah, I could get behind that, bro. Totally.
Yeah.
And again, our resident professional wrestler that's active right now comes up with that awesome storyline.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Parrish.
And I'll be
I mean-
sober tonight, so I'm
And you're
using it.
sober tonight?
Yeah.
Holy damn.
Wow! Congratulations.
Yeah, not for
Well,
long.
I didn't.
For
I didn't
now.
drink a game 6, and it worked out. So
The hockey stipulation or suspicions begin.
hey, man, they're
Superstition.
everywhere.
Yep.
I mean,
Okay.
superstitions in hockey are like peanut butter and jelly, man.
No, 100%, dude. When I
No,
played
I
hockey,
have
yeah.
I have Edmonton winning tonight as Vancouver is out without their top scorer.
Well, at least Edmonton's top scorer is actually going to play the game and not fucking take a night off. Toronto.
Okay, let's get back to the Adam
The
Pierce
wrestling?
Red Monday Night Raw. Yeah, that's right. I busted out the Adam Pierce T-shirt tonight,
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, buddy.
Getting deep.
and delivered to me by one Adam Pierce. Just doesn't like.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've got my Andrew Martin t-shirt on underneath.
I
There you
actually
go.
know a guy with that name.
I'm just wearing a spaceship t-shirt about people getting kidnapped, abducted, and probed t-shirt.
Oh right.
You're
Enough
so
about
you're
enough
you're
about
now
Uranus
bringing in-
and back to Monday Night Raw.
we're bringing in your personal life experiences now, Bubba.
Hey, man, I've been abducted twice now.
Are you abducted or are you just going willingly?
Oh, my
We got-
God.
We got 3 more hours. I
Right.
feel like Macho Man. I got you for 3 hours.
Right. I'm going to start
All
busting out the step into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
Man, I finally saw a Slim Jim with the LA featured thing at Walmart.
I seen
today.
one
It was
today,
weird.
too.
It's not. I'm not gonna lie. It's weird seeing LA Knight on stuff. But I like it.
Yes. There's a guy that we should talk about. LA Knight. I seen a clip of him walking past one American champion, U.S. title champion, and kind of eyeballing that title.
The guy who's invented this.
Yeah, that loser. They're both losers. I can't wait for the Tyson fight when he just walks up to him and KOs him one punch, like the girl he is.
I'm not gonna lie, it would be a lot better for business if Mike Tyson
Right?
lost it. I'm just saying.
I mean, it probably would be, but still, like, I just want to see Tyson knock the kid out. But this being said, do we see in the very near future, after this stupid match between Cody Rhodes and him, LA Knight going after that title and taking it from him?
From what I read, it's pegged for SummerSlam.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can see LA Knight versus Logan Paul at SummerSlam, and Logan Paul losing the title in his hometown.
That would be epic. I'm sorry, but I would probably go out and buy like 3 LA Knight t-shirts just because he beat him. And that'd be the only reason. Logan Paul is no longer holding a title in the WWE.
Yeah. And Bulkster is not wearing his LA Knight t-shirt tonight.
Today it's retired for now. Till next time.
He has to win the title before you wear it again. Is that it?
Oh.
I just realized who this was. Sorry.
I do want to give a shout out to a wrestler from WXW Germany, Bad Bones John Klinger. May he rest in peace.
Oh, shit.
Passed away at 40 years old.
Dude, that's not old. He's still young.
Yeah, it's not saying
why. Just it happened. Regardless, don't really need to know why. It's unfortunate that somebody passes away at that age.
His last match took place on May 11th against Flash Morgan Webster. Yeah.
Not a clue.
At just 40 years old, he passed far too early shortly before his planned retirement. So he was...
Oh, dude.
He was retiring.
That kind of stuff usually, like, I hate to say it usually happens, but when you're planning to, like, step away from something you've loved for so long, I equate it to heartbreak. Like,
yep.
Because you can't do what you love the most, aside from obviously if you had children or a wife, but I mean, your passion is wrestling. I mean, it was hard for me, dude. I went into depression.
Yep.
When I was forced to retire because of my car wreck.
Yep.
Like, it took 6-7 months for me to come out of that to where I could even function normally. So I can understand, like, you're planning your retirement. Yeah. Mentally, you're preparing it. Physically, you're preparing for it, but spiritually, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
So, I'm not saying that's why this gentleman had passed away, but I'm just saying I've seen it happen so many times where people retire and within 6 months to that first year being they're passing away.
Yeah.
It's sad. Especially at his age, 40. Like, dude, I'm only 43.
Right?
Like, damn. That hits close to home.
Yeah. Like I'm 38 right now. So like I hear
like
that.
You're 2 years away from being 40, literally.
It's still weird for me to think I've outlived Owen Hart.
Right?
Like that's the weird.
Yes. I agree with that one 100%. It feels way weird.
Like when you start really deep diving into that thoughts, yeah, it's weird. But I mean, the one thing we can say is like, one, let's hope that when he did go, he didn't have any regrets on the way he did live. And two, 100%. That we send our condolences to his friends and his family, to this whole thing. And
yeah,
With the last name Klinger, I'm just going to say this one thing. I hope to God his finishing move was called the Stage 5.
Right?
Like,
I
that would be
was-
the best. That would be the best name.
Oh,
for-
God, yeah.
I was going to say,
Section 8
I was going to say, I was hoping it was the 4077.
or the Section 8.
Yeah.
Because he was always harping for a Section 8. Regardless, yeah, our deepest and wholehearted condolences go to this gentleman's family and friends. It's going to be a hard time. Again, as a podcaster and someone who has wrestled, please just give them their space and respect at this point in time. They need to process such a hard loss as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to end on that note, gentlemen, because that's kind of, I don't want to say a bummer, but it is a bummer. Anything positive going on this week within our industry as wrestling fans and podcasters? OMD, anything awesome going on?
I'm back to my regularly scheduled programming this week, beginning tonight. The little guy is gone, so you can catch me anywhere you would normally catch me visually, as well as on the socials. We'll run the socials tonight right after the Raw Patrol.
Yeah, again.
So, Mr. Parrish, do you have any exciting news for us?
Yes, Mr. Parrish.
I guess the one nice thing is this Sunday will be the 25th episode of the Chris Parrish podcast. So that's a nice little hey, it's a quarter way to 100.
Congratulations,
Awesome.
dude. I have no clue where the Boar's Nest is at yet. I never really kept track of that, but congratulations on that one, my friend. That is a big milestone.
If it literally wasn't for WrestleMania keeping the numbers up, I don't think I would be I need to keep the numbers involved. It's why if you see me do shows in the past, we've always had the numbers. That was me because I've always had that WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania 2 mindset on how to keep track. Plus, it's freaking awesome if you were able to misplace or misstep an episode. Okay, cool. I know which one I'm looking for now, because if you just call it the same thing, they all just the same. Yeah.
As you touched on, Bubba, we celebrated our 1 year about a month ago.
Yes.
But then it's been so up and down with the Boar's Nest between your new shoot job, my kid being here. We actually missed our official 1 year anniversary.
Yes, we did.
But we're talking about podcasts there, OMD, and we're not talking about personal.
Oh, guess what, boys? It'd be 8 o'clock, y'all.
All right.
You know what that means?
So
it's time.
as we get ready to head over to the Raw Patrol, Parrish, myself, Bubba Duke will all be there. Bulkster will be joining us in the chat. So, from all of us here at the Boar's Nest, to those of you out there, wherever you are, in the words of Carl Carafel, the world is a scary place. Take care of each other. We're out.